just outside the food court entrance to the Paddock Mall, as I do every Saturday except last Saturday. The chair was filled by two people last Saturday, Hunter Turner, Luke Sylvia, filling in admirably for me last week. Thank you, gentlemen, for doing that.
Well, it took two of us to fill the chair, but let me just say I'm always in a chair, so, you know.
You got jokes every day, don't you?
Yeah, always, man.
Just got
Good
jokes.
morning. How's it going?
Just got jokes. Got jokes. Luke, how are you?
I'm doing well, Tom. I'm doing even better after last night.
That Magic game was pretty good for you last night, wasn't it?
It was. Elijah and I got a chance to go down there. He did some stuff with the radio there, and he got a chance to shadow, and I just bought myself an 8th row ticket and enjoyed myself.
8th row.
Yeah.
What was that, like $85, $90?
65.
65.
Yep. And then I'm going again Sunday.
$65 for the 8th row. If you were in the Staples Center, it'd probably be like $350 for an 8th row seat.
Oh, yeah.
Most likely.
Because what's they say Nicholson's season tickets cost him like $300,000.
On the court, yeah.
Yeah, but he's right there.
Yeah, that's where you want to be.
I don't want to be anywhere in an NBA arena.
Well, that's true.
Nowhere in an NBA
Especially in
arena.
a Magic game.
Oh, God.
I don't like
Can you
either
even
of them.
call it a game?
The highlight of the Magic game is when they play music over the game at the arena so you don't have to pay attention to what's going on.
Wow. Hunter is in rare form this morning. He's abusing Luke. I thought he was your partner in crime, Hunter. I thought he helped you out last
Well,
week. Y'all turned in the
He
show
did.
together.
He did, so I can't give him too many lumps. But let me tell you.
You hear that noise right there? That's the bus you just threw Luke
Flew
under.
right under the bus, man.
Hey, so it is the Saturday Sports Show. On today's show, we're going to be talking to Brandon Ramsey. He is a trainer, physical trainer, who is going to talk about the importance of being stretched properly and warmed up properly for the game of golf. You don't think about it sometimes in golf. People just say, I roll out of the truck to the first tee. But that's not very good for you, your game, or your body. We'll talk to Brandon Ramsey about that. Afterwards, Buddy Martin will join us. This Peyton Manning story will not go away. There's a news report out on Fox Sports from the Washington Post that the 1996 incident may be payback for what Peyton Manning said, for what was described in the court records as the first incident in 1994. We'll talk to Buddy about that. Was there allegations Peyton Manning was caught cheating? I don't know. And then David Moulton, you heard a little bit of him on Southern Pigskin tonight, but you'll hear the entire David Moulton interview that Buddy had with David Moulton of 993 ESPN in Southwest Florida, Naples, Fort Myers. You'll hear that in its entirety. Then Hunter and Luke will bring us up to date on college basketball. The University of Florida they play today, right, Hunter?
They play today at noon.
They play today at noon. Carolina plays Miami at 1. Louisville plays that school that shall remain nameless sometime today because I hate Duke. And we'll talk college basketball. And if we get a chance, Hunter, we may let Luke talk about the NBA.
Yeah, he knows a little bit about the trade deadline.
He knows a little bit. I don't know how much he knows. Let's go out to the phone lines right now, though, and talk to Brandon Ramsey. He is he works at the Ocala Golf Club, Muni to those of us that play golf there regularly, but he also is starting a program there that's going to focus on biomechanics of golf and how to improve those mechanics off the course. Shoulder mobility, stability, hip mobility, stability, core stability, power development. So we're going to talk to Brandon about that now. Brandon, thanks so much for taking time out with us this morning.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Brandon, let's talk about it, because you always hear that Tiger Woods is a guy that was in the weight room quite a bit, and now Rory McIlroy just answered Brandel Chambly, who was like, I don't want to see Rory go down the same road Tiger did. Rory puts out a Vine video of him squatting, saying 3 times 305, 3 times 10, 305, 3 sets to get the legs ready to walk 72. So we know what pro golfers have to do walking 72, but your average golfer just, rolls out of the car, goes to the first tee, hits the ball, always says, oh, God, I need to loosen up a little before my round gets underway, and then makes the excuse of not being loose until about the 6th or 7th hole, when by that time the body is loose. Why is it so many people don't understand the importance? What do you think is the reason so many people don't understand the importance of needing to get your body warm even for the game of golf?
Well, I mean, it's just like any athlete, that's if they're a professional athlete, they're usually trying to get that extra edge, So those are the guys who are going to go out every day and they're going to do that extra thing that your trainer tells them to do and things like that. With the general public, if they don't have someone telling them that they need to do it, then they're just going to do what they know. And so I think it's more of an education thing. So they don't really know what they need to do, so they're not going to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. And a lot of people say, well, so when you mean warm up, you mean go buy the small bucket of balls, go to the range, swing 25, 30 times, your body's ready, you're warmed up, go to the first tee and play. That's not proper either, is it?
Correct. So with that, a lot of times you're wearing yourself out for your 18 holes, before you even start. So some of the stuff that we're going to go over is things that you can do just to kind of get yourself loose, and it'll actually improve your flexibility over time. So it's a progressive system.
And flexibility in the game of golf is of the utmost importance. People tell me all the time, because I have a little half swing is what my club head comes back about to mid waist height or a little shoulder height maybe, and then through the ball. And I hit the ball about 260, 265 yards. And Chris Halley, who's the golf pro at Ocala Municipal, says, if you were flexible enough to get that club head around, you could probably hit the ball pretty good. I don't hit the ball as long as I can because of my flexibility. When you talk about flexibility, you mean trunk front flexibility, shoulder flexibility. What are some of the things that that you specifically want to think about when we're talking about golf flexibility?
Yeah, so the main things we're going to really focus on, is the thoracic spine. So those are the things that you're going to be rotating on. So the spinal column, between the shoulder blades, basically. That's really where we want to focus that. And then our hip mobility, have hip separation, be able to have that rotation, have one hip hike as you come back and then the other hip hike through as you come through, and finish your swing. And so that's really what you want to be able to get through that range of motion. So the farther that range of motion is, the more power you're going to have. And so that's what we really want to focus on and, get that flexibility so you can go through that full range of motion and get that extra power.
Well, now you're going to be offering some classes to teach exactly this at Ocala Municipal Golf Club, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And when do these classes start?
We're going to be starting here in March 5th. We're going to have a Saturday afternoon class at 11 o'clock. And then once we get some more people, we're going to try to do a midweek around a Tuesday or Wednesday at nighttime. So like 6 o'clock.
And this is not golf lessons. This is teaching flexibility and training patterns to get your body more flexible to play golf. This isn't actual golf lesson instruction.
Correct. We're not even going to touch a club. It's going to be, things that we can do off the course, to increase that flexibility, over time. It's not going to happen in one day. You're going to feel different, that's for sure, after the first class, but it's a progressive program. Like I said, it builds off itself, and so there's going to be things that we can do, to improve that over time.
I cover the PGA Tour quite a bit, and I've struck up some conversations and some friendships with some guys on tour. Robert Garagos, who is a tour card player, a tour player, him and I have a pretty good conversation with each other a lot when I see him. Usually at the Valspar Open is where I really talk to Robert quite a bit. And I've seen him in the middle of rounds on a Thursday or Friday where he'll be standing in the round waiting on his shot, and he will brace himself. He'll put his hands on the top of his golf bag and square his back, and he'll just do probably 10 or 15 squats just using his body weight there. And I asked him one time, I said, Robert, what are you doing there? Is that really a way to, help you in the middle of a round? Doesn't that tire you out? And he says, no, actually doing that kind of stuff gets my endorphins going and actually gives me energy. These are the kind of things you're talking about that you can do to help your golf game.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It's not just, flexibility, it's getting the metabolism going, things you can do before you even get out there, to get things rolling, getting a good little sweat going before you start, get the blood flowing, like you said, endorphins, get the heart rate up just a tad so you're ready to go, your muscles are, tensed and ready to go and activated, and you're, stabilizing and being able to get through that range of motion, like I said.
Well, these start March 5th. If you want to find out more information, you can call Ocala Municipal Golf Club. Do you have a phone number for them?
Give me one moment. I'll get you one.
I know it's 401. I can pull it up here pretty quick. It's 352-401-6917. That's the number to Muni. 352-401-6917. Brandon,
Yes, sir.
how do they? What do they do? They just call and say they want to get involved with your biomechanics class.
Yes, sir. Yeah, just call up. We'll have a sign-up sheet and everything like that. We'll put your name down. We'll put an email down, our phone number. We'll send you some more information, and that way, when we start our classes, we'll shoot you an email or a phone call, and that way you'll know exactly when we're starting and everything like that.
Well, I appreciate so much for you stopping by and sharing some of your wisdom with us, and hopefully we'll get some updates from you throughout the summer on how it's going.
Perfect. Thank you, sir. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. That's Brandon Ramsey of the Ocala Golf Club, starting a biomechanics class. We're going to take a break. When we come back, David Moulton of ESPN 993 joins us, a little shift of it. Buddy Martin will be at 10:30. You're listening to the Saturday Sports Page, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local, Hunter.
The Source.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life, from everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on the Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's National Magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz.
Hi, I'm State Farm agent Angie Lewis. Come see me and my team for all your insurance and financial needs in the beautiful downtown historic district, 416 East Fort King Street, or call 291-2444.
Located next door to Silver Spring State Park and a few minutes from historic downtown Ocala, our award-winning Holiday Inn Express Hotel and Suites of Silver Springs is a place to stay for a friendly, memorable, and fun experience. Enjoy our fast and free Wi-Fi, complimentary hot breakfast, and free parking. Whether you're in town for work or play, our friendly staff will make you feel right at home. That's the Holiday Inn Express and Suites of Silver Springs.
Proud sponsor of College of Central Florida basketball on WOCA The Source.
Need a car? Need financing? Need somebody to cut through the red tape and send you rolling down the highway? Prestige Auto Sales is the place to go. Got great credit and just prefer a quality pre-owned car at a fair price from somebody you can trust? Prestige Auto Sales is the place to go. Want to avoid high pressure to feel appreciated and be able to choose from a wide selection of AutoCheck and Carfax certified vehicles? Prestige Auto Sales is the place to go. Prestige Auto Sales in Ocala. Prestige. It's all there in our name. Do you suffer with frequent migraines? If you've experienced several migraines each month for at least the past year, you may qualify for a clinical research study. To find out more information about this study, please call Rinstar Medical Research in Ocala at 352-629-5800. All study medications and study-related procedures are at no cost to you, and insurance is not required. Compensation for time and travel will be provided. Again, if you suffer frequent migraines, please call Rinstar Medical Research in Ocala at 352-629-5800. That's 352-629-5800. Rinstar Medical Research, seeking tomorrow's answers to the health questions of today.
Welcome back to the Saturday Sports Page. Earlier this week, David Moulton of 993 ESPN in Southwest Florida, Naples, Fort Myers, he joined the show, and it's always an edgy conversation with David Moulton. He also is a writer for the newspaper down in that area, and he's the third guy in the booth on Saturdays for the CBS SEC Game of the Week with Vern Lundquist and Gary Danielson. When Vern Lundquist and Gary Danielson tells you who makes a tackle, it's because David Moulton told him who made the tackle. Let's hear from David Moulton when he joined Buddy earlier this week on Buddy's Sports Page.
David Moulton, 993 ESPN in Southwest Florida, and like us, lives for college football season. He, of course, is also a member of the broadcast team for CBS. Gary Danielson, Vern Lundquist, get all their great lines from him. And, of course, he writes a column for the Fort Myers News Press, and he's like the rest of us. We're kind of resting up for next football season, but I tell you, it'd be okay with us, Dave, if football started again next week.
Well, I will say it's tougher being a college football fan. The off season's much longer. You know, the NFL fans got free agency, and once signing day comes and goes, I mean, tough to get a whole lot out of spring football. Really is. So, it seems more of a tougher off season if you're a college fan.
Dave, you've been doing this a while, as I have, and then some. And you recall the days when there were real spring games, and we got a chance to go and watch these so-called cohesive units with most of the players out there playing in a game-like situation. And now they're almost like 707s. And they're just not as much fun if they were ever fun to begin with. And that disappoints me. I don't see too much in the spring game. It tells me a whole lot. How about you?
Well, I think there's, is it the chicken or the egg? I think injuries began to make spring games less of a game and more of a controlled scrimmage. And then because of it, fans aren't as interested in it anymore. And the less people that show up, the less you would think there'd be more of incentive to actually have a legitimate game, but it's actually caused them to go more the other way and go, well, people aren't interested in this like they used to be, so let's not go full bore. I mean, Florida State, I think, is having their spring game in Orlando. It wasn't that long ago that the thought of, Bobby Bowden not having the spring game at Doak Campbell would have been, have you lost your mind?
That's a good point, and I don't know how I feel about that. Part of the charm is they're going back to the campus for people, I think, and going there on a beautiful spring day and watching some football and walking around. So the game has changed, and you're right. It's all the injury factor has an impact on it. Now we have also the one thing about it that I am going to be glad to see, especially up in Gainesville, are the early enrollees. Now, we have so many. Everybody's got 10, 12, 15 early enrollees, it seems like. I believe Florida's got, 12 early enrollees. We've got quite a few. And I'm like, especially in a spring like this one, the quarterback situation is up for grabs. We'll get into that in a minute at Florida. But how do you think the early enrollees have changed football?
Well, I think it's made a big impact. And I have to admit, I'm not a fan of early enrollees. I don't know, call me old-fashioned or what have you. But, buddy, I'm a believer in your senior year of high school is one of those magical years in your life. And, big-time college football, we're already rushing kids into adulthood. Very few freshmen can make the impact that coaches are telling them they can make. Although less are redshirted than there used to be, I get it. I just wish that their early enrollees were not allowed, quite frankly.
You and I agree on something there.
I also wish that kids had 5 years. In football, I wish they were just given 5 years of eligibility. No early enrollees, give them 5 years. A study just came out 2 weeks ago that said that these basketball and football players are putting in 35 hours a week just on their sport before you make them go to class. Give them 5 years to get their degree, no early enrollment, let them go to their high school prom, let them spend their remaining weeks with their childhood friends before they go off to college. That's just my vote. I understand we're not putting the genie back in the bottle, but that's what I would do.
I'm with you on that, Dave. I think it's right. I think we've rushed it a little bit too much. And here's the funny thing about it. They're supposed to get them for 20 hours a week. That's number one. Secondly, they don't count all the pre-off-season training, which now they get around it by having these so-called they're supposed to be trainers, but they're like observers or analysts or what do they call them? They're basically coaches that get on the field and actually watch the workout. So the head coach not allowed to be there, but he can have staff members who are so designated to watch that team. So they're just skirting the rules what they're doing. And
of course.
And so
I mean, it's minor league football. I mean, without a salary. Let's not kid ourselves. I mean, but listen. As fans, we want a really good product, and as fans, we don't care. We don't. I've done 10 years worth of shows in Florida. The fans don't care. They don't. They don't think the kids should get paid, and they don't want to hear about how many hours and how hard it is. Well, you're getting a scholarship, bust your butt, and get me to Atlanta. That's all fans care about. I'm telling you, Buddy, you and I are we're not preaching to the choir. We're preaching to each other on this.
Absolutely.
Fans don't care.
You're right. You're absolutely right. And I'll go another level here. This is getting really kind of deep, maybe too deep for this program today. But all of this adds up to lots of money. And that adds up to what I fear is an epidemic of health for coaches. They are dropping like flies. Look around you. Look at Roy Williams, even at the athletic department, the athletic director, Pat Hayden. Hayden from USC. And then you got issues with Urban Meyer when it was at Florida. To some degree, Steve Spurrier had that same issue. Mike Krzyzewski went down the other day. And you're seeing these coaches with this excruciating pressure who are they're taking a toll on their health.
But Pat, this is what the fan says, and in this one, I'd agree with them. You compensate me like that, you put as much pressure on me as you want. So, I mean, it is what it is. It's become a monster, and, I doubt, I had a conversation last week with Michigan State Athletic Director Mark Hollis on our show, and he's concerned about the arms race. It seems as if no stadiums are big enough, no facilities are good enough. And I asked him, well, do you think you can stop the arms race? And he said, I don't know about stop it, but I think that I can slow it down. And I said, yeah, good luck with that.
Well, there you go.
It's not happening.
Yeah.
It's not happening.
Well, now when you put all this together in the game that we so dearly love, you throw in all this stuff, the amount of money, the factories that we're building, it's what they are. We love the game. We're willing to pay more and more money for it. Huge contributions to the program. Even the academics are siphoning off some of the cash to support the educational side at most universities now. The system is locked in. You're building these huge facilities. You've got athletes you're asking more of. You're demanding all season. The coaches are taking on these responsibilities. The turnover rate, how many coaches did we lose this year? Head coaches. I've lost count.
Yeah, but, a lot of them had multiple years left on their contract, and they got paid to, go into broadcasting or sit at home. So, yeah, I mean, listen, there's plenty of money in the system. It's why, these kids could get more than what they get if the NCAA and these schools are ever forced to do it. But getting back to something you asked at the beginning about spring games and what have you, an area that I hope college football goes, I would like to see an exhibition game of some kind. Because we want these schools to schedule these really big early games. But, NFL is 4 preseason games. You mean college can't have 1? And to me, if they're going to start doing away with scheduling what we used to call 1AA, well, can a Florida bring in name the school? Can they bring in a Delaware the last Saturday or Friday night in August and play Delaware in a preseason game in which they pay Delaware, all right, to come down, and Florida gets to play their 1s, play their 2s, and get it out of the system. Then this way, the 1AA schools get their check, because in the future, the talk is that the 1As aren't even going to be able to play the 1AAs anymore. So the Delawares of the world can get their check, and the 1A schools can get their work in. And, how many people do you think would show up at the Swamp for a legitimate game, even if it's an exhibition game, but both teams would be playing, I think the place would be half full. They'd make their money back and then some.
Now, what about the injury situation, though?
Well, but I mean, listen, at least it's the season. I understand losing a guy against Delaware, pardon my French, would suck. But it sucks losing them against Western Michigan a week later, too. At least I'm losing them during quote-unquote football season. I'm not losing them in January.
You're right about one thing. They're going to lose them because you can't make the playoffs. I got about a minute to go. Let's assess the quarterback situation as we know it in Gainesville. Luke Del Rio appears to be, at this point, the early front-runner for the job. What do your sources tell you?
I think, oh, my goodness, between now and when it starts, I mean, just look at how it went last year, just between, Greer and Harris. It wouldn't shock me at all if Florida's playing two quarterbacks into late August in practice trying to settle it if it's close. I think either one guy establishes himself early and makes it a no-brainer, or if I'm Jim McElwain, I take it to the last possible minute and decide again.
So you see Felipe Franks and Luke Del Rio trading off, huh?
Well, why make a decision early if you don't have to?
No, I know. I'm just saying. Yeah, it's not clear, obviously, but a lot of people are saying that's how it's going to shake out the Del Rio. I've never seen the man take a snap, so we'll find out. Dave Moulton, as always, it's been a pleasure having you on the program. Good to hear you. Good to read you at the Fort Myers News Press. What's the website, by the way?
NewsDeskPress.com.
There you go. And, of course, we can hear you on 993 every afternoon on Miller and Moulton. Thanks, David. Appreciate it.
Buddy, take care.
Get it for less at the DIY Home Center outlet. Get top quality real wood cabinets the same or less than the big box stores are selling the cheap stuff. And that's not all. Drywall screws big box stores are $6.47 a pound. At DIY, only $4.99. Plus, DIY has the largest selection of mobile home parts and accessories anywhere. From carpet to doors, get the DIY supplies you need for less. The DIY Home Center outlet. We are your building material closeout store. 2191 Northwest 10th Street, just 2 miles east of I-75.
Are you in need of custom screen printing, embroidery, or promotional items? Then look no further and come visit the brand new Legacy Team Sales. LTS is conveniently located off 17th Street next to Armstrong Homes in beautiful Ocala. We offer the best prices and highest quality products for your company, team, school, or nonprofit. Whether looking for screen printed shirts, embroidered polos, or travel team uniforms, you'll be sure to find it at Legacy Team Sales. Come visit our new 27,000 square foot facility. Our friendly and knowledgeable sales staff will assist you in every part of your custom purchase. LTS carries the hottest brands in the industry like Under Armour, Russell, Mizuno, Asics, Badger Sports, Gildan, Pacific, Ogio, and many more. At LTS, screen printing embroidery is done in-house and we guarantee customer satisfaction. Stop by, give us a call, or check us out on the web at shoplts.com. Remember the name, LTS.
The very best in quality is Captain T's Upholstery.
Hey, this is Dan. Let me ask you a few questions. Does your boat look better with the cover on? Has your car's interior seen its better days? Stop using a towel to cover up those rips in the golf cart. Isn't it about time you had it restored to better than new with a custom upholstery from Captain T? Captain T's Upholstery has been right here in Ocala for nearly 20 years, so they know how to make your ride one of a kind. Whether you want to take that classic ride back to a factory look or put your favorite sports team front and center, Captain T's Upholstery is who to call. 352-369-1810. That's 352-369-1810. Or stop by their location, 5030 South Pine Avenue in Ocala, just past the drive-in. And of course, don't forget to visit them on the web, CaptainTUpholstery.com.
The very best in quality is Captain T's Upholstery.
Putting the local back into radio. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. WOCA News. Variety. Information. Now. Keep your arms and legs on the inside at all times.
The most trusted name in news, Fox News, every half hour, only on 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
WOCA.
the Saturday Sports page. Glad to have all of our online listeners out there, especially Luke's mom. She's watching on WOCA.com. If you can't reach us at 96.3 or 1370 AM or 93.6.3 FM, you can get us at WOCA.com. But if you're not listening to the radio on 96.3 FM or 1370 AM right now, you didn't hear me say that you can go to WOCA.com.
Exactly.
So, but, Hunter's put it out there to all his millions and millions of people that you can listen to us on WOCA.com. Too.
I always put it out there.
Hunter's got millions of listeners, so.
Millions of followers.
Millions of followers. Buddy Martin now joins us on the phone. Buddy, good morning.
Morning, Tom. How are you?
Buddy, I'm doing well, but I'm this story that just will continue not to go away. I woke up this morning, had an alert on my phone from Fox Sports. It says, report, trainer may accuse Manning of academic cheating 2 years before the sexual harassment allegations. And it's a headline from the Washington Post's latest article about Peyton Manning that there was refers to a mysterious 1994 incident between them. It said he was redacted, but after he looked at some stuff, especially a question that was given to Doug Dickey, the athletic director of Tennessee, in a deposition, Dickey was asked about Not being a guest lecturer in a course taught by Associate AD Cameron Tagano. The key question asked to Dickey by the lawyer was, do you recall it ever reported that Carmen Tagano or anyone else at Dr. Nautright had spoken to Carmen Tagano about the possibility of Peyton Manning having committed academic fraud in that course? Doug Dickey, of course, replied no, but that's the first time I've heard of this. I mean, is this where we're at now? People are going to start digging, and you're going to get all kinds of allegations coming out?
It sure sounds like it. It sounds like there's an agenda here. And I guess if you wanted to, you could probably even go back and find something wrong with Tim Tebow, although it may be tough. I'm not going to sit here and defend Peyton because obviously Peyton makes mistakes. I think they're pretty public right now. And I think Paul Feinbaum's comment was very telling. I'm working on this column now about the truth about Peyton Manning. And the problem is I don't really know the truth, but I'm talking about what we perceive as truth. And Paul made a very good point on our show, Southern Pigskin, when he said, lawyers aren't dumb. They went all the way back 20 years ago and got this red herring, basically, that was Peyton Manning's case in 96, 97, and brought it into the suit that is now at Tennessee in order to give it some teeth and give it some publicity. And if you notice, no one's talking about the other 9 guys or 9 people at athletes at Tennessee. It just seems focused on one guy who just happened to finish his career in a John Wayne walk-off. And all of a sudden, that Pandora's box has been opened and out springs everything. And now there appears to be some people who really are on the agenda to dig up any and all dirt on Peyton possible. Now, was Peyton perfect? No. Am I going to defend his actions as a kid and what he did to this trainer? No. Has he made mistakes along the way? Yes. I don't know that if you got right down to it, that if you took my record and your record and Luke's record, that for the most part, our backgrounds in college will be that much different than what Peyton went through. We might not have done some of those things that he talked about in the training room, but you know the mode of what goes on in a locker room. I know it at the high school level, a little bit at the college level in baseball. It's a different kind of thing in there. And there's no telling all the things that goes on with the horse plays, my coach used to call it, the stuff that happens, what could happen in the context of a locker room. Long answer to it, yes, I think somebody's digging until they find something. I think Paul made a very good point when he said some judge may throw that out completely and say it's not relevant to this suit. That could very well yet happen. Then where does that leave us for all those people who went on a crusade to basically barbecue Peyton? Well, and by the way, you can't do this anymore this time.
Well, the assistant AD at the time, Tagano, was reached this week by the Post. I want to share this. And it said it didn't make sense that Manning, then a freshman, would have cheated in the class in question. First off, he graduated with a 3.61 grade point average, but the class itself was a 1-hour pass or fail class that required that was required of all athletes, and under no circumstances did Manning cheat. The class was based on attendance. It was an orientation class. It wasn't a class you needed to cheat in. It was a pass or fail by attendance. So, that's why I ask: are people just trying to throw things against the wall and see what sticks?
Well, that's what I'm trying to sort out in this column. I call it The Truth About Peyton Manning. There are 2 and maybe 3 sides to this story. And we don't really know the answers. And I think Terry Bradshaw was right when he said, I can't make an intelligent response about this. I don't know enough. And you and I don't really know enough. And if we only focus on the things that was written, you have the sensationalized version of what the plaintiff is saying and what the lawyers are saying, because Peyton's not talking about it. So it's a very difficult story to report and think about, and I'm not in any way whatsoever lightening the severity of the things toward women. There's no question that goes on. It's a problem. I'm a dad. I have 2 daughters. I obviously have a wife. My mom was a single mom, working mom, as yours was, and I know the things they had to go through were very difficult. But you can't leap from. I know this is an exaggeration. You cannot leap from Bill Cosby to Peyton Manning. I'm sorry.
You cannot, and while we both are in agreement that the allegations from 1996 were reprehensible, and if it happened the way that it was reported as happened, then that's inexcusable. It just seems like now there seems to be a witch hunt of sorts to sully Peyton Manning as much as they can now.
Things seem to be egregious when they're taken out of context. And even things as sensitive as racial issues that we have known about and talked about, which today sound reprehensible, but if you put it in the context of the time and you really try to explain what was going on, you might not excuse it, but you'd have a better understanding of why it happened. You know that. You have an African American, one of your best friends.
Yes.
And there are things that happen that your best friend would have told you, that's bull crap, That's not a big deal, And so I think people who, especially lawyers, and God bless my friends like Randy Briggs and all those, Wayne McCall, they're all great lawyers and all that. But they are going to get the most attention for their case they can. They have taken this one to the max, and who knows how many private investigators. And by the way, you think Gary Fleischer is stupid?
No.
He put his investigators out there on the HGH case the same way. To do what? Dig up dirt. Find out what's going on. So that's the way the game's played.
Buddy, where can we find your column this weekend?
Well, as soon as I get it written, it's going to be on gridironnow.com and will be on southernpigskin.com. I had this guy named Brendan who was in town the last couple of days and took my time up, so I'm running a little behind on schedule, but it's great seeing Brendan and great having him on the show.
Buddy, thanks so much for taking time out for us this Saturday. We'll see you Monday.
All right, pal. Thanks.
Buddy Martin of gridironnow.com and the Buddy Martin Sports page joining us. Hunter, real quick, your thoughts. I mean, is this just getting kind of just out of control with the way they're coming after Peyton?
Well, I think, like Buddy said, we don't know. I mean, there's just so much we don't know. But, yeah, do media members throw things against the wall and try and see if they stick? Absolutely. You look in any type of coverage of any incident, we sensationalize things in the media nowadays to get attention and get readers and viewers. And I think that in the short term, we're not going to know much. I think it's going to take a while before we learn enough to really form an opinion on the story.
Well, I would go to Luke now, but real quick, Luke's cousin Elijah's here in the studio, and he does some radio with the Orlando Magic. He's the play-by-play guy for Austin. He does radio for Austin P football up at Austin P in Tennessee. So he's in Tennessee. Elijah, over the last week or so, you've seen the news reports. I'm sure this is a hot story in Tennessee. How's it playing? Are people pretty much in Tennessee saying they're picking on Peyton?
Yeah, a little bit. It seems, of course, every fan there is pretty much a Tennessee fan, so a lot of people don't want to believe this story, and it's a lot of kind of searching through it. A lot of people in Tennessee are just really tired of hearing about it. Once Tennessee Peyton Rather won the Super Bowl, they kind of wanted to celebrate with him, if you will. And so now that all this stuff is coming out, they're a little annoyed by it, saying that people are trying to tarnish Peyton's his record and his legacy and everything like that, seeing as he may retire. So a lot of people in Tennessee are really just tired of hearing about this.
And it is a story, by the way, that the people of Tennessee and the people of the South knew real well in 1996. It's not like this was covered up. It was reported in 96. Then in 2003, when the lawsuit for defamation of character happened, when they wrote the book and mentioned not writing a book, it came out again. USA Today did numerous articles. So people around this area in the Southeastern Conference area, and especially in Tennessee, this is our third time visiting this story. It does get a little tiresome.
Yeah, and beat writers for Tennessee and VolQuest.com, things like that, they're saying, hey, when this came out in 96, I reported this.
There was over 100 articles written on it in 1996.
There wasn't a shortage of coverage about it. People knew about it. My dad grew up close to Knoxville, and he talked about knowing about it and hearing about it all the time. So it's definitely not something that was covered up at the time. It's not a news story that broke, but the article that was kind of written in today's time, maybe the writer had a little bit of agenda. He was probably a little upset. People picking on Cam Newton after the Super Bowl.
And he said as much in his article. Yeah. And like Buddy said, lawyers aren't dumb. The lawyers for the plaintiffs against the University of Tennessee in this Title IX know the name Manning will grab headlines. So that's why they went back 20 years to bring this up. We're going to take a break. When we get back, Hunter will bring you up to date on the LPGA and PGA tours, plus Gator basketball. Luke will get you set up for the NBA, and they'll take you home from here. Guys, good show, Hunter, and I look forward to your PGA and LPGA comments coming up.
Absolutely. Thanks, Tom.
Next, right here on the Saturday Sports page, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local. The Source.
Your quality of life is meant to be fully enjoyed each day. The doctors at Ayers Global understand that and strive to provide a quality of life for you that has no equal. Ayers Therapeutic Services combines naturopathic and family medicine to help all your health needs. Diabetic management, hypertension, pain management, and anti-aging are just a few of the services offered by the Ayers family. Call 352-512-0222 today, and Ayers Therapeutic Services will help you begin to understand that better health begins with you.
Hello, I'm Dawn Lovell, lead event designer and owner at Party Time Rentals. Have you ever wondered what it takes to make an event spectacular? Well, look no further. It's what we do every day, whether you're hosting an intimate dinner for 10 or a gala for thousands. At Party Time Rentals, we find just the right style and elegance to make your event a success. Our extensive inventory of the finest in chandeliers, tents, crystal, china, and specialty items is featured in our fabulous showroom. Stop by and say hello. It's a great way to get ideas for an event and experience for yourself how you can make your party time special.
Party Time Rentals, located on Southwest 10th Street, just off Route 200 in Ocala, and off Southwest 34th Street in Gainesville. For more information, call 352-629-8858. That's 352-629-8858. The party begins at Party Time.
Bud Light, the perfect beer for whatever happens, has created the perfect bottle for whatever happens. The Bud Light Cool Twist aluminum bottle. It's made of 100% chill-holding aluminum, so you know it's cold. It's tall and sleek, so it's refreshing. And here comes a twist. It's reclosable, so you know it's always up for whatever. The Bud Light Cool Twist aluminum bottle.
Just bring it.
Enjoy responsibly. Bud Light Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
From beautiful townhomes to equestrian estates, Golden Ocala Golf and Equestrian Club provides the perfect haven of elegance for any homeowner. Not to mention our championship golf course, award-winning tennis program, state-of-the-art spa, and new luxury equestrian suite. We offer an array of membership options to suit a variety of lifestyles. Call 352-369-6969 today for more information about our latest real estate offerings.
Stay with us and sleep better at the Sleep Inn and Suites of Ocala Bellevue, located next door to Don Garlett's Museum and a few minutes from Florida Horse Park. Our award-winning, newly refreshed Sleep Inn and Suites offers comfy, clean rooms, free fast Wi-Fi, and service with a smile. Start your day with a deluxe hot breakfast and unwind in our heated outdoor pool. Our convenient 24-hour fitness and business centers allow you to stay on track whether you're here to play or to work. That's Sleep Inn and Suites, Ocala Bellevue.
Proud sponsor of College of Central Florida basketball.
Welcome back to the Saturday Sports Page. I'm Hunter Thompson Turner with my buddy Luke Sylvia and Elijah over here. But first, before we get to Luke's beloved Orlando Magic, I have a LPGA and PGA Tour update presented by Golden Ocala Golf and Equestrian Club. Tri-Eagle Sales, your official distributor of Michelob Ultra, the official beverage of the LPGA and PGA Tour. So, Tom, I think I did get that right, by the way. Well, let me just start off with the ladies, because we got to go ladies first. My friend, I can say now, Danielle Kang, is leading the ISPS Honda Women's Australian Open at 9 under par. She'll tee off at 1 p.m. in Australia, which, by the way, they're like 16 hours ahead, so that'll be about 8 o'clock tonight. Looking forward to that. With Haru Nomura, Jenny Shen, Lydia Ko's tied for 4th at 8 under par, so you know when Lydia Ko's playing, Luke, you better watch out, because she could, you know, shoot 8 under par really easy, really fast. So you got Lydia Ko, 8 under, Kari Webb, Paula Rito tied for 6 at 7 under par. And there's, of course, the Coach Golf Championship winner, Hana Zhang, at 7 under par, lurking as well. And we flip over to the PGA Tour. They are currently playing right outside of Los Angeles at the Riviera Country Club for the Northern Trust Open. Jason Kokrak is leading at 10 under par. Ches Reavie is in second place at 9 under par. And then you have a bottleneck tied for third at 8 under par. Dustin Johnson, Troy Merritt, Bubba Watson, Mark Leishman, Adam Scott. And then you go back to the people that are -6, and you got my buddy Rory McIlroy, who tees off at 12:15 this afternoon. And it should be a great day of golf just outside of Los Angeles. And now we get to talk about basketball.
Yeah.
And this is something I've been wanting to talk about all show, because the Gators play today. And Luke, let me tell you something. I am excited. We play the South Carolina Gamecocks. Huge game on the road. Noon tip. Are you looking forward to it as much as I am? I know you're Gator now, so we can officially say this is going to be great today.
Yeah, it'll be interesting as Florida comes off a win against Georgia. A 4-point win, a game that really we didn't think that Florida could pull out. There was just a lot of things going on. They just didn't look like they were going to win that game, Hunter. And so they play South Carolina today, and they are a 2.5-point dog. It'll be interesting to see as they are going to South Carolina to try and take a win out of that.
Yeah, I think that the key is going to be for Florida to play a high level of defense on the road, and then, you know, they got to make some baskets, obviously. You got to make baskets. The basket seems smaller for Florida on the road, but if they can get a couple of shots to fall, get the ball to Kayvon Allen and Dorian Finney-Smith, they got a chance to win this game. I know South Carolina's great, but they really do have a chance. And I think you also look at the fact that, South Carolina is really good. So this would be a staple win for the program this year on the road. And with a few games left before the SEC tournament, it's crucial. And then, of course, March Madness, it is going to be crucial for Florida to get hot at the right time. And now we can talk about them. It's okay. Let's bring up the Orlando Magic.
Yeah, Hunter, as I said earlier in the show, Elijah and I got to go to the game last night, and Elijah got to do some radio work with the play-by-play broadcaster there, Dennis. And so he got to do that, and we got to see the new look Orlando Magic as they traded away Tobias Harris. It was a very controversial trade. They were just getting the Magic were getting a lot of critiques and criticism from, writers, beat writers everywhere, reporters saying that they gave away Tobias. That doesn't make sense. I believe he's 23 years old. He had a lot of potential, but the truth is he was having a down season. The Magic are obviously always getting heat for not winning. After they got out to a 19-13 start at the beginning of the year and kind of fell behind, and all of a sudden you look at the Magic and they're about, I think they were 20-25. So this needed to happen. Brandon Jennings and Ersan Ilyasova from the Detroit Pistons are who were traded for Tobias Harris. Channing Frye also was traded. And the player that they received from that trade, I believe, is Jared Cunningham, and he is being reportedly going to be waived. That is not official yet, but he was on the inactive list last night. So we can expect for him to get waived to further clear salary cap space. But last night, the Magic with the new look went into overtime with the Dallas Mavericks, led by Dirk Nowitzki, and surprisingly, they did something they don't usually do in overtime, and that is win. It's not something I'm used to as an Orlando Magic fan. As they ended up winning by 6 points in overtime. The final score was 110-104. And just to give an update on those players last night, Ersan Ilyasova and Brandon Jennings in their first game with the Orlando Magic. Brandon Jennings played well. He is apparently wearing the number 55 in honor of Jason Williams. And he put up 18 points last night, and Ersan Ilyasova put up 16 last night. So it was very encouraging to see that happen. And so
yes,
it's great to see that the Magic are making moves. They're making controversial things happen, but
at least they're making stuff happen. And maybe my buddy Joe will be coming to Orlando, and maybe Al will join the trip as well. Well, Luke, we've had a great show today. I think that we finally got to take over again for Tom, which is great because, anytime I can take over for Tom and take over these airways, this is a great time for me. I know you enjoy it. And let me just say this before we have to get off the air today. The Patriots play as well tonight at 7:30. Mm-hmm. Tom, James, and I will be on the call. I'm looking forward to it. It's a huge game, so if you can be there, Ocala, to support your local Patriots, be there. It's the season finale at home, and they're looking to make it to the state playoffs.
Yeah, they just to give a little background on how important this game is. So earlier in the week, there was a matchup that occurred, and the outcome allowed the Patriots to clinch a spot in the state playoffs. So tonight, I believe if they win, they will have the one spot.
The first number one seed, yeah. They will have number one seed for the state playoffs.
And if they lose, they're still in it, but they will most likely be the 2 seed. So we are looking forward to that, as it'll be broadcasting on our airwaves, and it'll be broadcasting. You can hear us on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, and if you're not around a radio, you can always tune in WOCA.com, and we will have that for you guys to listen to. As like we said, it's the season finale. It's a big game, but following this game, they will have the state playoffs. I'm not sure on the dates on that. Do you know?
Yeah, and that actually takes place in Patriot Gym as well. So you have a ton of local basketball that's high quality JUCO basketball right here in Ocala, Florida. You don't have to drive to Gainesville, folks. It's right here in your hometown. Come out and support your Patriots as they try and take home a state championship. Well, it's been a great show today. I'd like to thank Tom Schmitz for allowing me and Luke to finish this up. We had Brandon Ramsey on at the beginning. Thanks to Brandon for talking about golf fitness and what we can do to loosen our bodies up to play golf. And Buddy Martin, of course, checking in with Tom Schmitz to talk about all things Peyton Manning. For Luke Sylvia, I'm Hunter Turner, and also for Elijah and Ayla, thanks for hanging out, guys. You've been listening to the Saturday Sports Page. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Nestled in the heart of horse country, just off I-75 exit 354, the award-winning and newly refreshed Howard Johnson Inn of Ocala invites you to pamper yourself in one of our comfy guest rooms. Enjoy our free and fast Wi-Fi, heated outdoor swimming pool, 24-hour fitness center, and our deluxe continental breakfast. Other on-site amenities include a restaurant, putt-putt golf, and a car wash. Go happy, go Hojo at the Howard Johnson Inn of Ocala.
Proud sponsor of College of Central Florida basketball on WOCA The Source.